Welcome to the Just Nuke It podcast.
Glad to be back.
Tonight, we're strapping in for a double dose of apocalyptic awesomeness.
Oh, yeah. Double feature.
We've got not one, but two tales of global catastrophe fresh from the world of flash fiction. You ready to dive in?
Let's do it. Hit me with those doomsday scenarios.
All right, first up, imagine waking up tomorrow and every single bit of tech, everything from the Industrial Revolution onward, has just vanished. Poof, gone.
Hey, computers, cars, everything.
Everything, no electricity, no engines, not even a simple wheel. And here's the kicker, nobody remembers how any of it worked.
Talk about a hard reset.
The total system crash. We're talking about a terrifying reverse apocalypse where all that progress just unravels overnight. This flash fiction story, Age of Unknowing, drops us right into this chaos. We follow a young engineer, Theo, who's haunted by these fragmented memories, these little glimpses of that lost world. They're trying to piece it all back together, along with their community, before everything falls apart completely.
Sounds intense. Makes you wonder, what knowledge would you suddenly find invaluable in that kind of world? Like, what would be the most useful thing to remember?
Right. I mean, think about it. Even something as basic as knowing how to start a fire or grow food could mean the difference between life and death.
Totally. Okay, so that's Age of Unknowing. What's the other story we're probing tonight?
Okay, get this. Scorched and frozen. Picture the world getting sliced up by this crazy climate shift.
Sliced up.
Yeah, split right down the middle. One half is trapped in this deadly, scorching heat, and the other half is locked in a deep freeze.
Like fire and ice.
Exactly. We follow a group of survivors who are desperately searching for this legendary haven, a place where maybe, just maybe, there's some balance left. It's a high-stakes race against nature itself, pushing human endurance and adaptability to the absolute breaking point. Imagine trying to survive in both fiery heat and bone-chilling cold all at the same time. What would that even do to a person?
That's a wild concept. To survive those kinds of extremes, you'd need some serious mental fortitude.
Right. And we're going to unpack all of that, the psychology, the survival tactics, the whole shebang.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, so let's get back to Age of Unknowing. The story throws you right into the deep end, this sudden shock of waking up to absolute silence.
Silence.
Yeah, no more buzzing electronics, no traffic noise, nothing. Just this eerie quiet. And then it hits you. All the tech, your phone, your coffee maker, even the lights are just useless lumps of metal and plastic.
Man, that silence would be deafening. It's like the background hum of the world just disappeared.
It would be unsettling for sure. And those everyday objects, the things we take for granted, suddenly become reminders of how much we've lost. It's this cascading effect. The power grid goes down, communication goes dark, even basic services just stop working.
What do you think would be the most immediate impact of that kind of chaos?
I think it'd be the loss of connection, not just to information, but to each other. How do you coordinate? How do you help each other when all the usual ways of communicating are gone?
True. You'd be thrown back on really basic local forms of communication.
Exactly. But then Age of Unknowing takes it a step further with this really unique amnesia element. It's not personal memories that are lost, it's the how.
The how?
Yeah, like engineers who designed these complex systems suddenly can't even grasp the basic principles behind them. Farmers, doctors, they've all lost their specialized knowledge. It's like the entire operating system of society got wiped clean.
That's a really interesting twist. It's not just about losing the technology, it's about losing the very ability to understand it.
Absolutely. So even if you had some scraps of the old tech lying around, you wouldn't even know where to begin to fix it or use it.
So how do people even start to rebuild in this story? It seems pretty hopeless.
It's definitely bleak. But in the midst of all this, we've got Theo, who's experiencing these fragmented memories of the past. These little flashes of scientific principles, almost like dreams.
So they remember bits and pieces of the old world, but not the whole picture.
Exactly. And it's Theo's parent, who's much more practical, who recognizes the potential in these scraps of knowledge. They realize that old books, which are suddenly everywhere, could hold the key.
Interesting. So the books become like these precious artifacts, holding the lost knowledge of the past.
Totally. Not just for the text, but for the diagrams and illustrations. They act like visual triggers for Theo, helping them remember things they thought were lost forever.
Do you think that's realistic? Could old books really help people relearn everything they've forgotten?
It's definitely a long shot, but the story highlights the enduring power of information, even in a world that's lost its practical understanding. The village where Theo lives, becomes this testing ground for this rediscovery.
So they're trying to actually rebuild things based on these old books.
Yeah, it's slow and messy, but they managed to build a working water wheel based on Theo's half-remembered sketches.
A water wheel, that's pretty impressive considering they're starting from scratch.
It is. And the kids in the village, who probably grew up surrounded by screens, are now finding purpose in physically building things. It's this fragile hope emerging in the face of starvation and collapse.
There's something really poignant about that. Like, they're not just rebuilding technology, they're rebuilding a sense of community and purpose.
Absolutely. And then the world expands a bit when another group of survivors arrives. They're led by Mara, and they've managed to hold on to something pretty significant: flintlock rifles.
Oh, wow. So they represent a different kind of knowledge, a more direct kind of power.
Exactly. It shows that different communities probably clung to different fragments of the past, creating this patchwork of knowledge and technology. And Mara's plea to Theo, mixed with this fear of the knowledge Theo holds, really highlights the potential for both cooperation and conflict.
Makes sense. Unevenly distributed knowledge could create a lot of tension, especially in worlds struggling to survive.
Right, so you've got Theo with this theoretical knowledge, which is pretty useless on its own, and then you've got Mara's group with their practical skills and firepower. They form this unlikely partnership, each needing what the other has.
So it's like a clash of cultures, but they have to find a way to work together.
It's a fascinating dynamic.
Yeah.
They're essentially walking through a forgotten history, rediscovering things that were once commonplace. Blacksmiths trying to relearn their craft, farmers arguing over old planting techniques, and Theo, with those fragments of knowledge, acts as a catalyst for collective remembering, sparking those dormant memories in others.
That's a cool idea. Like, by working together, they're not just rebuilding the physical world, they're rebuilding their shared understanding of it.
Exactly. But as word of their success spreads, things get even more complicated. Alliances form, but so do rivalries. The world becomes this tinderbox, fueled by desperation and the potential power that lost technology represents.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Whoever controls the knowledge controls the future.
Right. But then Theo has this crucial realization. They see the danger in simply trying to rebuild the old world, the world that maybe led to this forgetting in the first place.
Interesting. So they're questioning whether they should even be trying to go back to the way things were.
Exactly. Maybe this devastating reset, however unwelcome, is a chance to learn from past mistakes and build something different.
Like, maybe progress isn't always linear. Maybe sometimes you have to take a step back to move forward in a better way.
And that realization shifts their focus. It's no longer just about blindly rediscovering the past. It's about reinvention within their new limitations. The story gives examples of communities creating rudimentary solar panels with hand tools and rediscovering the power of plant-based medicine. They're learning from the past, but also innovating out of necessity.
That's encouraging. Even in this stripped-down world, there's still room for creativity and progress.
Totally. And the story ends with this picture of a new reality, a world that's cruder, slower, and smaller. But there's hope in the next generation who see the salvaged tech not as relics of a lost age, but as tools for building a better future.
Wow, so it's a cautiously optimistic ending. It acknowledges the loss, but also suggests that humanity might be able to learn from its mistakes.
That's right. Okay, ready to switch gears and dive into the scorching, frozen chaos of Scorched and Frozen.
Let's do it. Bring on the fire and ice.
This one doesn't mess around. It throws you straight into this sudden, terrifying shift in the environment. No warning, no gradual change, just this immediate, visceral wrongness.
Like the world just snaps.
Yeah. And the consequences are brutal. People are boiling alive in one moment, freezing solid the next. Their city becomes this nightmarish fault line between two extremes.
Talk about a worst-case scenario. That's intense.
And in this chaos, survival becomes this brutal moment-to-moment necessity. People are looting for anything that can offer even a little bit of protection from the heat or the cold.
I bet those survival instincts kick in pretty fast in that kind of situation.
Oh, absolutely. Neighbors turn into rivals, fighting over scraps of insulation or burn cream. It's every person for themselves. And it's in this insane environment that we meet Mia. She's forced to become a strategist just to stay alive.
Interesting. So she's not like a trained survivalist or anything. She's just someone thrust into this leadership role.
Exactly. And then this guy, Riker, shows up with a half-charred map and this wild story about a haven, a place of balance within all this chaos. Most people think he's crazy, but Mia sees something else in his desperation.
She sees hope, even if it's a long shot.
Yeah. And a small band of survivors rallies around this crazy quest for this mythical haven. You've got Anya, the ex-soldier haunted by her past, Finn, the stubborn tech-savvy kid, and Mia, the reluctant leader trying to hold it all together.
Seems like a classic ragtag group of apocalypse survivors, but what makes each of them, like, essential to the group?
Each of them brings something unique to the table. Anya's military training, Finn's tech skills, Mia's sharp mind. These things that might have been ordinary before suddenly become the keys to their survival.
Makes sense. It's all about using whatever skills you have to adapt to this new, crazy reality.
Exactly. So they head out into this hellscape of a fire zone, melted roads, exploding wildlife. The air itself feels like it's burning.
How do they even move through that?
Anya's training becomes crucial. She knows how to navigate this kind of terrain, how to avoid danger, how to think tactically. And this really cool twist, they raid a ruined library.
A library. What are they looking for? Books on how to build a fire.
Not exactly. They're searching for ancient tales of desert survival.
Whoa, that's thinking outside the box.
Mi knows that knowledge of arid environments could be their key to surviving this fiery wasteland. It's a reminder that even seemingly outdated information can be valuable in a crisis.
That's so cool. It's like they're using the past to navigate the present.
And then they have to face the ice zone, this brutal, unforgiving world of frozen silence. And Finn, against all odds, uses his scavenge tech to help them navigate across glaciers and through blizzards.
So even in this frozen wasteland, technology can still play a role.
It does, but it's not a guarantee. They suffer a loss along the way, a harsh reminder that even with technology, this journey is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, it's like the story is constantly reminding you of the stakes.
Right, and then they reach this impossible border, a chaotic vortex where fire and ice collide. It's like something out of a nightmare.
How do they even survive that?
It's Riker, the guy everyone thought was crazy, who guides them through.
Yeah.
His seemingly nonsensical rambling somehow makes sense in this chaotic in-between zone. It's like his madness gave him a glimpse of this broken reality.
Wow, that's trippy. Like his madness becomes a kind of wisdom in this broken world.
And when they finally reach the oasis, it's not the paradise they might have hoped for.
What is it like then?
It's this desolate stalemate, a harsh landscape of ash and glacier. But amidst all that, they see it as a small sign of life, this hardy, green plant stubbornly growing.
So even in this most extreme environment, life finds a way.
Yeah, and Riker, having reached his destination, collapses. His purpose is fulfilled.
Oh, wow. So he leads them to this haven, and then he's done.
And it's at that moment that Mia has this realization. The oasis isn't a perfect escape, it's another testing ground. And she makes a decision. They will not just survive, they will thrive here.
That's a powerful moment. She's choosing to face this challenge head on.
And they do. Anya uses her training to build shelters, Finn uses his tech to create warning systems, and Mia starts experimenting with cultivating those tough plants. It's incredible, this human defiance in the face of such overwhelming odds.
It's inspiring. They're not just giving up. They're finding ways to make life work in this crazy new world.
And word of their haven starts to spread, attracting other survivors. Riker, the madman, is now remembered as a visionary. Their haven, against all expectations, becomes this symbol of hope in this broken world.
It's like their resilience is contagious.
Exactly. And the story ends with this beautiful image. The sound of birdsong in the frozen dawn, a new sprout pushing through the ice, a frost-resistant flower blooming in the scorched earth. Mia smiles, knowing that life, in all its forms, is enduring.
That's a powerful ending. It suggests that even after all that destruction, there's still beauty and hope to be found.
Absolutely. So after listening to these stories, what are your thoughts? Age of Unknowing really makes you confront our dependence on technology and all that collective knowledge we take for granted. Could you rebuild if it all vanished overnight?
Honestly, I don't know. It's a humbling thought. It makes you realize how much we rely on others and on the knowledge that's been passed down through generations.
And Scorched and Frozen really pushes the boundaries of human resilience. What does it tell you about our ability to adapt and overcome even the most extreme challenges?
It tells me that humans are tougher than we think. We have this incredible ability to innovate, to cooperate, to find ways to make life work, even in the most impossible circumstances.
We hope these apocalyptic probes into these flash fiction stories have sparked your imagination and maybe even given you a new appreciation for the world we live in. What other scenarios do you think could lead to such drastic changes? What are the limits of human adaptability? Share your thoughts with us. Rate and follow the Just Nuke It podcast for more captivating stories from the edge of oblivion.
And who knows, maybe we'll even get into some triple feature apocalypses sometime.
Until next time, stay curious and stay safe. Welcome to this weekly show where we cover one or two wild tales, end-of-the-world scenarios, and apocalypse stories from flash fiction in a fun, entertaining way, like blockbuster action films. Rate and follow the show for more captivating stories from the Just Nuke It podcast.
Sounds like a plan.
See you next week.